Hello everyone, welcome to another Narc Survivor live video. In this video, we are going to be talking about how narcissists destroy everything and why they do that. Narcissistic abuse is something that affects hundreds of millions of people in this world, if not billions of people. And it's really the most harmful form of abuse. There is nothing more painful that you could possibly go through. And while I don't want to invalidate anyone's experience, the truth is that yes, there most certainly are levels to the abuse. And it's one thing when someone comes into your life and you're doing everything for them, you're taking care of them, you're paying for everything, you're building it all on your own, you're catering to them, you're giving them a life, and then all of a sudden they just ghost you, discard you, or they destroy it all. They take your business, they take everything away, all of your money. Yeah, of course, that's very painful to go through. But as I said, there are levels to the abuse. And there is something far worse that they can do. And in all honesty, there is nothing that compares to this. And I think you will all agree that probably the highest form, the highest level of narcissistic abuse, the ultimate FU, the greatest imaginable punishment, is when they're with you all of that time. For years, you're together. They targeted you, they made you believe they wanted what you wanted. And you had something really good with them. They were there for you. Maybe they had a business of their own, or you built a business together. You were working hard, you were working towards something. You had this perfect family image, this perfect home. You had everything together. And then all of a sudden, they go and they take their own business down. They just wipe it out, they get rid of it. They just throw all of the money away. They just completely destroy your family, your home. And what makes this the highest form, the highest level of abuse, far beyond just being used and exploited, what makes this a million times worse, it's the fact that they invested a lot of themselves as well. Maybe they had a lot of money that they brought to the relationship, or they had a business. They already seemed as though they were quite put together themselves. They had a lot going on. And they just took themselves out. They just deliberately sacrificed themselves for no reason. And it's like, why would you do that? We were fine. Everything was okay. We were going in the right direction. I worked hard, you worked hard. We had this thing together. And you were clearly quite capable in order for you to do that, to succeed in all of that. So then why just throw it all away? of course, it's a massive mindfuck. It really is. And that is the ultimate of manipulation and gaslighting. Because it's like they actually did have something. It's not like with most narcissists who lie, they future fake, they pretend they're about something. These narcissists, you actually saw it. They had something. They worked towards a goal. They had a business. They had a life. They looked great. They were doing great. And then they just threw it all away. They destroyed everything. And they had something to destroy, not just you, not just what you had. I mean, that's really bad. But what makes it that much worse is that they destroyed themselves as well. That's the worst part of it. To see them going down, to see them going backwards in life, when they could have gone far ahead. But of course, you've got to be thinking, like, why would someone do that to themselves? I mean, that's almost like psychopathic. I mean, it's one thing. I mean, of course, at this point, we must be kind of desensitized to it. We all know, yes, narcissists abuse, they manipulate, they exploit, they lie, they future fake, they rob you. And, you know, that's hurtful, it's not fair. But this is on another level. This is something else. This is out of this world. For someone to take themselves out just to get to you. Because that's what they're really trying to do. But it's not just that, it is more than that as well. The reason why they do this, when it's like they've been working all of these years and they just throw it all away, it can often be out of boredom. I mean, even though they may have bought you this beautiful home, you've got nice cars, your children have everything, you both have good jobs, businesses, you're taking trips around the world, you've got this perfect family image of a high status family. And then they just throw it all away, purposely, intentionally, deliberately. And it can often be out of boredom. Because yes, even with all of the money and success, narcissists do get bored. They do get bored of that. And not only that, it could also be to punish you for something. Or maybe they weren't getting supply. They could have had the luxury cars, the supercars. In some cases, super yachts, private jets. They could have had all of that. But maybe they weren't getting much attention. They weren't getting supply. So they just thought, to hell with it. What's the point? Because that's the whole point of it, is to get supply. That's the whole point of the image. Otherwise, it serves no purpose. So they look at it like, if I'm no longer significant or relevant in what I'm doing right now, in presenting this image of money, success, power, what is going to have the greatest impact? And of course, it's to do the opposite. It's to destroy everything that they have. Not just what you have, but what they have as well. To self-destruct. Because that really is what has the greatest impact in this world. More than when someone does something hurtful to another person. But it's one thing to exploit, to rob someone, to do all of these hurtful things to them. But what's far worse is to see someone doing these things to themselves. especially when it's for no apparent reason. Like there's just no reason for it. It could have been fine. Everything could have been going okay. So it just leaves you wondering why. Why did this have to happen? And it's like, it's one thing if you did it to me, if you exploited me, you robbed me of these things. Yeah, that makes sense. I can see where you're coming from in that. But why would you destroy yourself? Why would you ruin not only my life, but your life as well? And that's why I say it's like the ultimate mindfuck. And it's really the most impactful thing a narcissist could ever do. I mean, if we want to talk about impact, who is quite possibly the most impactful person of all time in human history? Of course, it would probably have to be Jesus Christ. And he sacrificed himself for mankind. He was crucified. And we all just inherently know that that really is the most impactful thing a person can do. Of course, it depends on who's doing it. But if you consider a narcissist who has everything in this world, they've got all of the money, all of the wealth, the power, the social status, for them to just sacrifice all of that, to crucify themselves, the impact on that is phenomenal, beyond comprehension. I mean, it's just crazy. You think about all of these people in this world, millionaires, billionaires, they've got social status, they've got everything. It's all about having nice cars, big houses, super yachts, private jets these days. And it's this endless competition. So for a narcissist to have all of that, and then to just destroy it all for no reason. They do it because they look at it like, that puts me ahead of everyone else. Everyone else is chasing these things. I just threw it all away. Like it was garbage. Like it meant nothing. They see it as though even if someone was earning 100 times more, 1,000 times more, however much more, and they had whatever they had, that still means that I'm superior to them. Because they're the ones who are chasing after it. I'm the one who just threw it away. So in their minds, that puts them in a league of their own. Suddenly that makes them relevant. And it's the same thing when they threaten to attempt suicide. They're looking at it like they're bigger than life at that point. Everyone else cares so much about their lives, they don't care about it. So that means in that moment, they are the number one person in this world. And they look at it like everyone who's chasing after the money, they're chasing after all of these things, they're weak. They're tied to their earnings, their friends, their connections. They're tied to all of these things. They're dependent on them. So they look at it as though those people are weak and as though they are above them at that point. because they already had that and they didn't want it. And again, to them, that's the ultimate impact, is when everyone else wants something and they're chasing after it, they're doing everything they can to get it, or if they've already got it, they're doing everything they can to hold on to it. The narcissist is like, no, I don't even want it. Just throw it away, you can have it. Again, that puts them in a league of their own, in their minds. And also in the external reality as well. Because if we're being real, yes, a lot of us, we do need these things. Narcissists don't. They really don't. They're not that concerned about their image. The whole point of their image is to dictate how they feel about themselves based on how other people view them. Other than that, they can do without it. They don't need it. It's all about narcissistic supply. And if they're going to get more narcissistic supply by doing away with all of that, then that's what they're going to do. Whatever will get them attention. So they can destroy the business, the family, your marriage, everything, deliberately, and being fully aware of the potential consequences and still going ahead with it. Because they look at it like, who cares? I still got the attention I was looking for. And it's something that will imprint on people's minds for years or even generations to come. When if they had just gone along with the plan, continued working, continued in their business, with their family, with the home, the children, then they look at it like, what kind of impact would that have made? Would they have been remembered? Would people have thought of them? Would that have left an imprint on people's minds? Probably not, because that's what everyone is doing. How many people just go and throw it all down the toilet? Very few people do. And this is exactly how they're seeing it when they do go and destroy everything. The reality is, many people, especially celebrities, they've had everything. And at a very high level too. They've had private jets, mansions around the world, making tens of millions of dollars every year. And that still isn't enough for them. They go and do drugs, they become drug addicts, they become depressed, they do something silly and then there's all of these allegations against them. Or they do something outlandish, something to get them attention. Or they just go and they take their own lives. And it's like, why would you do that? When you literally had everything. Everything that anyone could have ever dreamed of. Why would you throw it all away? And again, it's because they get bored. It just doesn't satisfy them anymore. Because whatever they've got, even the private jet, the super yachts, and I'm not exaggerating when I'm saying this. I mean, literally, give it a few days, maybe a couple of weeks at best, they get bored of it. They get bored of the jet, they get bored of the yacht, they get bored of the fleet of supercars and mansions around the world. That all gets boring very fast. Even for a normal person. I've had these things and it didn't satisfy me for long. It really didn't. And for a narcissist, it gets boring far more quickly. It really does. And they look at it like, what's going to be more fun, more exciting? What's going to get more attention? And then they just go and do that. They just go and destroy everything. Because that is what will get you attention more than anything, is to just damage and destroy things. Nothing's going to get you more attention than that. People who do good things in life, they go the normal route. They build a family, a home, a marriage. They do everything the right way. People like that don't get noticed. No one really cares about them. It's not really impactful. It's been done before so many times. But what really has an impact is when someone does the opposite. And not only that, but it's like the greater the success, and then the greater the destruction, the greater the impact that it has. And what really multiplies the impact is not when it's just them doing something to someone, but when they're doing it to themselves. When it's their own deliberate choice to sacrifice themselves, but with no cause and for no apparent reason. And those of you who have experienced it, let me know down below in the live chat, because I'm sure you will know better than anyone. Maybe you've been exploited in the past, you've been robbed, cheated on, lied to, future faked, and that was hurtful. But what about those of you who have experienced these narcissists who destroy everything, including themselves, their own business, what they've been working towards, their home, their family, and they had some ability, some potential, and things could have been good, they could have been fine. How did that affect you? How did that make you feel? Because I would say that that is the ultimate level, the ultimate form of a narcissistic abuse. There's really nothing worse than that. Especially since it may make you feel guilty and as though you could have done more. It may make you blame yourself because it's like, why would this person do that to themselves? If they did it to you, then it would be easier to blame them. But when they do it to themselves, it's like, how can they be to blame for that? Because why would they do that? And then it's like, it just doesn't make any sense. But as I said, this is why they do it. It's for significance, for relevance, to make that ultimate impact. I mean, just remember how impactful it is. Jesus Christ, he sacrificed himself for mankind. He was crucified, or so we know. And just that story, it's impacted many people for over 2,000 years. That's a very long time to remain relevant. I don't think there is anyone else who's remained relevant for that amount of time. To where there's half of the world's population who are still following Jesus Christ. I mean, that is quite an impact to make. But the narcissist looks at it the same way. They understand the impact that it has. I mean, that is something that really imprints in your mind. It's something that you will never forget. I mean, it's like someone blowing themselves up for no reason. narcissist, you've been with them all that time, you got to know them, you build something with them, and then they just go and do that. It's an incredible thing to go through. And many of you may have been through that already. And if you have, you may just wish that they had just lied to you and future faked and just robbed you, exploited you. You may wish that they had just done that. Because there's nothing worse than when they self-destruct and they destroy everything that they are, everything that they have built as well. That's really the worst. And it's like, how do we go back? What can we even do about it? How can we put them back together? It's like Humpty Dumpty. They had a great fall. But typically they won't want to go back together. They will just relish in it, in the attention, the supply, following doing that. Will they build things back up again? Who knows? Maybe. And it may be with you, it may be with someone else. But when they do these things, what an impact it has. The ultimate source of supply for a narcissist is when they can build something with you and become this perfect image of a person for you. And then they just go and destroy it all. Just so you can't have it. So sad. They destroy everything. Just spilt the water on the floor. But yes, they destroy everything. And the reason why is because they thrive in dysfunctional environments. Having the perfect family, the perfect home, that does nothing for them. Unless they can get other people to see it, and then they can live vicariously through them. If they can make them envious or jealous or make them admire or respect it, then the narcissist may find some level of pleasure and fulfillment through that, but never directly. It never does anything for them to experience it directly. It's only when other people are viewing it. And that's why outside of the home they seem to be okay. It's like they treat you well, they act normally. But then behind closed doors, they're very different. They're not treating you right. They're very mean to you. Because it's all fake. It's just a false image. And it's very sad. It's never anything real with the narcissist. And their disorder, it does not produce long-term success. It can create the illusion of short-term success, but even then it's just a false image. It's superficial. There's nothing beneath that. It's all just this image that they present to the world so that they can then feel better about themselves. And that's why when you're with them, there's really no winning with them at all. Things will never get better, they will only get worse. Normal people, they want to be better, they want to thrive, they want to succeed in life. But with narcissists, it's just all about destruction. Because they thrive in dysfunctional environments, in drama and chaos. Because that's the environment that they were raised in as a child. So they want to play that out in their adult life. But they'd rather be on the other end of it. But they will also do it to themselves if they believe that it will have the greatest impact. Of course, there are many different narcissists who may do this. Not only the higher level narcissists, but also even the lower level narcissists who aren't so self-aware. They will do that as well. They will go and destroy everything. And again, it's to maintain significance, relevance. They see it as though it gives them some form of advantage. So that's why they do it. And I know it's a very hurtful thing to go through. It's like things weren't even that bad. They could have been better. We could have worked towards something. But they just had to go and destroy it all. Because they couldn't be happy. They couldn't find fulfillment in a normal, functional environment. It did nothing for them. It wasn't what they wanted. If they wanted a normal, functional environment, something healthy, something good, if they could thrive in that, then you probably would have had that. You didn't get that because that's not what they wanted. That's not what they like, what they gravitate towards. And that's how you know, even when they go off with their new source, they're not going to have that with anyone else as well. Anything they get into will always fall apart because they don't want that. It doesn't feel good for them. They make it look like it does because they know that's what you want. But they could never give that to you, and it made them feel not normal. So they want to prove it to you so that they can prove it to themselves and continue to live in this delusion where there is nothing wrong with them, even though deep down they already know that there is. But everything you saw as a false character, they never wanted anything functional. They never wanted a healthy family dynamic, a future. If they did, you would have had that. They thrive in dysfunction, in chaos, in drama, in making people crazy, in ruining people's lives, and not only that, in ruining their own life as well. These are the types of environments that they thrive in. All right, so I hope this message was helpful. And please, if you would like to support the channel, I am thinking of investing in the new iPhone at some point so that I can upgrade the quality of my videos. And if you would like to contribute also maybe to video editors and an operations manager, as well as other things, If you would like to show your support and give something back to support my work, you can donate by going to my PayPal. It is paypal.me/Narc Survivor. And you can also donate through the live chat or leave a super thanks in the comment section. And that will be very helpful for our community to help it to grow and to improve the content on this channel. You can also let me know your thoughts about this video in the comment section below. And hit the subscribe button, click all notifications so that you will be notified when I upload a new video. If you would like to book a one-on-one coaching session, you can go to my website. It is narcsurvivor.co.uk. And you can also follow me on Instagram. It is Narc Survivor YouTube. Okay, so thank you all for joining me on another Narc Survivor live video. I do appreciate you all, and as always, I look forward to speaking with you in another video very soon.